Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of trivia videos for the BLCS Wellness Videos Initiative. Today's trivia will be on retro TV trivia, which will encompass the television shows from the early 50s to the early 2000s. So for those of you who don't remember me, my name is Ariana Pallone. I'm a first-year university student at Brock University. I'm studying in the medical sciences program, and I'm obviously a member of the BLCS. So today's trivia will have 20 questions. 10 seconds are given to you for each question. You will not see that you are being timed. I will be timing, but you will have 10 seconds for each. There's a variety of questions like multiple choice, true and false, fill in the blank, etc. So with that, let's begin. This lovable redhead appeared in one of the most popular TV sitcoms of the 50s and possibly of all time. A. I Love Lucy. B. The Carol Burnett Show. C. The Donna Reed Show. D. Leave It to Beaver. And the answer is A, of course. I Love Lucy. This is, of course, Lucille Ball, who starred with her husband Desi Arnaz as Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. Question 2. Game shows became a hit just as TV started. This popular game show had celebrity panelists questioning members of the public to guess their work. A. To Tell the Truth. B. Match Game. C. Family Feud. D. What's My Line? And the answer is D, What's My Line? Of course, this was one of the very early game shows hosted and moderated by John Daly and featured celebrity panelists. Question 3. This 50s sitcom featured the famous comedian Jackie Gleason. A. The Jack Benny Show. B. The Honeymooners. C. The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. Or D. Father Knows Best. And the answer is B, The Honeymooners, which of course starred Jackie Gleason, Art Carney, and Audrey Meadows. Question 4. This sci-fi show premiered in the mid-60s and it was starring Bill Shatner. A. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. B. Gunsmoke. C. Star Trek. Or D. The Twilight Zone. And the answer is, of course, C. Star Trek. Question 5. True or false? Bam Bam was left on the doorstep of the Rubbles' cave in the Flintstones. A. True or B. False? And the answer is A. True. Bam Bam was the adopted son of the Rubbleses, of course. Question 6. Which famous comedian starred in an eponymous show where she famously tugs her ear at the end? A. The Eve Arden Show. B. The Carol Burnett Show. C. The Lucy Show. Or D. The Sonny and Cher Show. And the answer is B, The Carol Burnett Show, along with Lucille Ball, one of the greatest comedians, in my opinion, of all time. Question 7. This war comedy aired in the 70s and was primarily based on the Korean War. A. MASH. B. Hogan's Heroes. C. Roots. Or D. Gunsmoke. And the answer was A. MASH, of course, starring Alan Alda. Question 8. This famous sitcom from the 70s had Archie, Edith, Gloria, and Meathead. A. The Jeffersons. B. The Brady Bunch. C. All in the Family. D. Good Times. And the answer is C. All in the Family. This was a very, very controversial show in the 70s, and as it touched upon a lot of what was considered taboo subjects back then. Question 9. This 80s sitcom is about four older women living in a house together in Miami. A. Designing Women. B. Who's the Boss? C. Murphy Brown. Or D. The Golden Girls. And the answer is, of course, D, The Golden Girls, one of my personal favorites, starring Bea Arthur as Dorothy, Rue McClanahan as Blanche, Betty White as Rose, and Estelle Getty as Sophia. Question 10. In this mystery series, Raymond Burr plays a Los Angeles defense attorney. A. The Addams Family. B. Matlock. C. Columbo. Or D. Perry Mason. And the answer is D. Perry Mason. Question 11. This sitcom was based on World War II and aired in the 60s, starring Bob Crane. A. Hogan's Heroes. B. MASH. C. McHale's Navy. D. Operation Petticoat. And the answer is A. Hogan's Heroes. Question 12. In the 90s sitcom Friends, the cafe that the group frequented was known as A. Monk's Cafe, B. The Peach Pit, C. Central Perk, or D. Arnold's. And the answer is C. Central Perk. Question 13. This 60s sitcom was based on the life of a comedy writer, Rob Petrie, along with his wife Laura and co-workers Buddy and Sally. A. The Dick Van Dyke Show. B. Gilligan's Island. C. I Spy. Or D. The Lucy Show. And the answer is A. The Dick Van Dyke Show. That, of course, was starring Dick Van Dyke. His wife Laura was played by Mary Tyler Moore. Sally was played by Rosemary. Buddy was played by Maury Amsterdam. Question 14. This imaginary holiday caught fire when Frank Costanza celebrated it on Seinfeld. A. Festivus. B. Galentine's Day. C. Freedom Day. Or D. Rabunica. And of course, this was Festivus, the holiday for airing your grievances during the Christmas time. Question 15. This iconic 70s show was based on a single woman who worked in a newsroom in Minneapolis. A. That Girl. B. The Mary Tyler Moore Show. C. Here's Lucy. Or D. Green Acres. And this is also one of my personal favorites. The answer is B, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, of course, starring herself, Mary Tyler Moore. Question 16. In the 90s sitcom Frasier, Frasier Crane moves to Seattle to work on a radio station as a blank. A. Philanthropist, B. Singer, C. Psychiatrist, or D. Company CEO. And the answer is C. A psychiatrist. That, of course, was played by Kelsey Grammer for Frasier. Question 17. This 70s TV show included the Fonz and produced spin offs like Laverne and Shirley and Mork and Mindy. A. The Jeffersons, B. Sanford and Son, C. The Brady Bunch, D. Happy Days. And the answer is D. Happy Days. Of course, the Fonz was played by Henry Winkler. Question 18. This 70s hit had the catchphrase, "God'll getcha for that, Walter." A. Mama's Family, B. The Odd Couple, C. The Partridge Family, or D. Maude. And the answer is D. Maude. This, of course, was starring Bea Arthur. Question 19, true or false? The theme song for Cheers was Where Everybody Knows Your Name. A, true, or B, false? And the answer is A, true. Of course, another 80s hit was Cheers. And last question 20. These sitcoms that are imaged here below incorporated fantasy fiction into their shows in the 1960s. A. The Addams Family and the Munsters, B. I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched, C. Lost in Space and Tarzan, or D. My Favorite Martian and Mork and Mindy. And the answer is B. I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched. So on the very bottom, you have Barbara Eden starring in I Dream of Jeannie, and just above to the right is Elizabeth Montgomery starring in Bewitched. I want to thank you all for playing, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Take care.